The recent editorial article by China's Global Times, titled "We Morally and Emotionally Support India's Decolonization," rings an alarm bell for London and Washington. Drawing inspiration from a significant symbolic event in New Delhi, the opening of a new parliament building on May 28 to replace the colonial-era structure, Chinese communists have called on India to continue the process of decolonization, not merely in the form of name changes but in the culture and hearts of the people. As a society that has also been subject to Western colonialism and aspires to national modernization, China empathizes with India's desire to defend its national dignity and achieve a more independent status. Writes the Global Times, India remained a British colony for nearly 200 years, leaving extensive and deep traces of colonial rule in the South Asian country. The task of removing these traces appears daunting, but New Delhi is consistently addressing it by gradually shedding symbols of the old era. However, it is not just about symbols. Today, the world is facing a new wave of Western dominance, attempting to maintain its hegemony, notes the Chinese newspaper.
We would like to friendly remind the need to remain vigilant against the geopolitical manipulations of the West, which embodies new forms of neocolonialism.
Emphasizes the Global Times. Today, more than ever, Anglo-Saxons employ the divide and rule tactic, continues the publication. By attempting to drive a wedge between China and India, the West has devised the concept of dragon and elephant rivalry. Unable to subjugate both countries openly, it resorts to creating disputes between them. This is how the persistent colonialist mentality of the West manifests itself. Flattering India and promising to turn it into a replacement for China, it traps New Delhi in a geopolitical snare. In reality, there is nothing to divide between India and China. Both countries represent ancient civilizations distinct from the West. They possess enough Eastern wisdom to recognize Western tricks.
Asia and the world are vast enough to accommodate the simultaneous rise of China and India.
Concludes the Global Times. New Delhi's clear understanding of this truth will demonstrate its firm intention to emerge from the shadow of colonialism. An encouraging sign is that Beijing, soberly evaluating the threat of India slipping back into the sphere of Anglo-Saxon influence, transcends the imposed paradigm and extends a hand of friendship to New Delhi. It is evident that the insightful Indian leadership also understands who its friends and enemies are. Over the past year, with the help of Moscow, such understanding should have only grown stronger. As the Eurasian geopolitical triangle of Russia, China, and India takes final shape, the global West will have no chance to preserve its global dominance. The article in the Global Times serves as further confirmation that for Beijing, the idea of a multipolar world, rather than reconciliation with the West or its own hegemony, remains the top priority.